listening crew. If you're new, my name is Cassandra. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Today we are talking solely about some Christmas meal plans. If you're new here, I meal plan for an entire month at a time for my large family of 6. And Christmas is no different. I host 2 Christmases every single year. I host my husband's family and I also host my family. My husband's family is basically the polar opposite of mine. It is a huge family. There's like 40 people. It's a very traditional Christmas, and then my family total is 11 people. So there will be 11 people in my house for my family, and we always do like an ethnic themed Christmas meal because we all get that traditional Christmas everywhere else. So instead of eating the same meal twice, we always do some sort of different, like around the world kind of night. Everyone in my family can cook really well, so we do it potluck style. Everyone makes 1 or 2 things, we bring it together, and it's just a really chill kind of end of the year Christmas celebration. So very different ends of the spectrum here. So for my husband's family, I do a very traditional Christmas, but I also try to do it on a budget because there are a lot of people. I've gotten pretty good at hosting Christmas. I can put a whole Christmas dinner together usually for around $200 to $250. That includes drinks and all of like the plates and the cutlery and everything like that. So let's hop into my Christmas meal plan, and we're gonna start with the traditional sense because I think that's something that more people are more interested in. And if you want to know what we're doing for my side of the family, a little bit more of a fun Christmas, then that'll be at the end. So for our traditional Christmas, we're gonna start off with a ham. This I'm kind of counting as free. We buy a whole pig every single year, and I save the biggest ham that we get off of that pig for Christmas every single year. I've done that the last couple of years. It works out wonderfully. I don't have to buy that. It's already sitting in my freezer. What I do use for my ham, it's a delicious ham recipe. We put the ham in a roaster pan. You rub it with brown sugar, you put some pineapples on it, dump in the pineapple juice, the whole can of pineapple. I usually do chunks, you can do rings, it really doesn't matter. I dump in a whole jar of maraschino cherries with the cherry juice, throw in a little bit of Dr. Pepper, and then you just let it kind of like soak and fume, and it cooks in all that juice, and it's like a sweet, tangy, delicious ham. It's phenomenal, and it's just really, really good. I already have brown sugar. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have any pineapple right now, and then we don't keep soda in the house, so I'll get that for Christmas, and then it'll be for drinks and also for the ham. We're gonna do a fillet of salmon. My husband is an avid outdoorsman. If you've watched any of our videos, you know this. My husband went on a salmon trip this summer out on Lake Michigan and got a ton of salmon. It was great. We have some really big, beautiful fillets. We're unsure right now if we're going to bake the salmon fillet in the oven or if we're going to smoke it in the smoker. So we'll see what happens, but we already have that salmon in the freezer. Once again, I'm counting that as free because it's already there. We've saved it. We set it aside knowing that this is what we were going to use it for, and it's ready for us for Christmas dinner. No Christmas dinner is complete without mashed potatoes. I typically we'll do a 10-pound bag of potatoes. We peel it all the night before. We put it in a big pot of cool water with the top on it, and we set it like in the garage. We set it, you put it on your front porch, your back porch, just somewhere cool, but where it's not gonna freeze. It's gonna sit in that water all night long, and then in the morning or in the afternoon when you need to make your meal, you just dump out the starch water, refill your pot with fresh water. Your potatoes are already peeled. It's a step you don't have to do. Put it up on the stove. It's ready to go to boil. We do that every year. It saves us a lot of time, a lot of hassle, and it's just one of those things that you can prep the day before. So far we're a couple items in, and the only thing I have to buy is a big bag of potatoes. Of course, we're going to do gravy, but my father-in-law makes homemade gravy from the drippings from the turkey. So my father-in-law will roast a turkey at his house because in the perfect world, I would love to have double ovens. I don't. I only have one oven, so we've always done that where he'll make the turkey at his house so that my oven, where we're all eating, where I'm hosting, can be left open for all the other things that need to go in the oven the day of. So he'll make the turkey, so that's no cost to me. Then he'll bring the turkey over, and at my house, he'll just make sure he comes over about 45 minutes early, and he'll be able to make the gravy from the drippings of the turkey, and it's the best gravy you've ever had. You could smother me in it. It's so good. I could drink it. It's delicious. So we're also gonna do that. I'm going to make probably somewhere between 2 and 3 boxes of stuffing. I could make my stuffing from scratch. I've never done that before. It's something that maybe in the future I'll get into, but like I said, my husband's family is super particular on how they like things, and they love the stovetop stuffing mix, and why make it from scratch if everyone loves it from the box and it's just super easy to throw together. So we are going to do a couple boxes of stuffing, but luckily, basically from Thanksgiving through the end of the year, stuffing is on sale. So if you really want to, you can buy a couple extra boxes of stuffing, just put it up on your shelf and then have it for the year, pull it back out around Easter or something like that, or just for really easy sides for dinners. So we are going to do a couple boxes of stuffing as well. I always make a green bean casserole. It is a family favorite, and it's one of my favorites as well. And puppies are going to join me here. This is Lady and this is Blue. Hi. So, oh my gosh. I always do a green bean casserole. It's another thing that I like to prep the day before. I just put it in the fridge, and then the day I have to cook it, I will take it out of the fridge, top it with the onion crunchies, and put it in the oven. I am going to make 4 loaves of bread. Last year I did a couple loaves of bread to put on each table, and then I bought homemade dinner rolls. But what ended up happening is no one really ate the dinner rolls and everyone wanted the fresh bread. So this year I'm going to double it. I'm going to put 2 loaves of bread on each table, just skip the store-bought rolls completely. At least that's what I'm thinking now. It may change between now and Christmas time, but that's my plan for right now. So I'm going to make bread, which is kind of another no cost to me because I keep all that stuff in stock in the house anyways. We are also going to do something new. We are going to do a mac and cheese. I make mac and cheese for my family all the time. I recently made mac and cheese for the girls' birthday party that we had, and it went over really well. So I'm thinking just trying to mix it up a little bit, do something new. So I think I'm gonna make a small batch of mac and cheese. And then the last thing I'm kind of debating doing is making a cheddar and broccoli quiche. I'm just trying to think of ways to get more vegetables into the meal, and I think a quiche would be a good way to do it. It kind of depends on how my egg situation is looking. My girls are starting to slow down quite a bit. With the time change, less sun, and then we also just got our first snow. So things are kind of all adding up where the chickens are going to slow down, and they're probably not going to pick up laying eggs until like March probably. So it really depends on how my egg situation is. If I have a lot of eggs at the time, then I will make a quiche. If I don't, I'm going to kind of forego the quiche and save them for some make-ahead breakfast that I want to do for Christmas, all of the baking that we're going to be doing, all of the cookies and things like that. So it kind of depends, but in a perfect world, I would love to do a broccoli and cheese quiche as well. Or desserts. I am not set on anything specific yet. Typically what we've done in years past is I always put out a big cookie tray on all of the tables, where all of the cookies that we've been doing all season long, I will save probably like 10 cookie dough balls from each batch of cookies that I do. I put them in the freezer, and then on Christmas Eve, I will bake all of those cookies so that they're fresh for the next day. And I set them aside on those tables, and that's kind of what we use as desserts. In years past, all of those like little treats that we put out on the table are always gone, and then all of the big desserts that we make, like the cakes, the pies, all that stuff, sometimes it just sits and nobody eats it at all, and then you have all this extra dessert left over. So I'm kind of thinking that this year I am just going to tell everybody, like, if there's a dessert you really want to bring, go ahead and bring it, but I'm not going to make anything specific. I'm just going to have all of the cookies laid out, all of like the little fudge balls and the chocolate covered pretzels that the kids do. We'll leave those out like we typically do. That seems to go over better because everybody can grab one cookie, or you break it in half and you share the cookie with somebody else so that you can taste a little bit more, have a little bit more, and it's a little bit more snacky. We'll see what happens, but that's my plan for right now. That is my traditional Christmas. So I've got a pretty good list. Remember, it's a big family, so everything's gonna be big portions. a lot going on. I already have some family talking about bringing deviled eggs from chicken eggs from their flock, maybe like a veggie platter, something like that. So that's kind of where we're laying. We always do a cheese and cracker and sausage plate. We already have deer from this year's deer season, and somebody brings a venison sausage. It's gonna be fresh made, never frozen. It's delicious. We get that, we cut up the venison sausage, put out a ton of different cheese and crackers. Somebody will bring that. So it really just depends, but that is what I am handling. I'm not saying that there's not gonna be anything else at the party, but that's what I'm doing. And somebody's gonna bring a little bit of this, someone's gonna bring a little bit of that, and that's gonna be our full spread. For my family, we decided on doing Mexican food this year. Last year we did Chinese food, it was delicious. So we're gonna go Mexican this year. I have been wanting to learn how to make empanadas probably for an entire year. And I thought this is the time I'm going to do it. I'm also leaning on empanadas because I can make them ahead of time, get them stuffed, get them in their little beautiful little dough casings, and I can freeze them and then pull them out the day that we are going to get together, bake them in the oven, they'll be good to go. I also decided I'm gonna do a Mexican rice because my family really likes it when I make Mexican rice in the Instant Pot, which is gonna be perfect. And Mexican rice is like the best side dish of all time. My oldest daughter wants to make guacamole, so I'll get stuff for her to make her guacamole. So we'll have guacamole chips, the empanadas, the Mexican rice. I have no idea what everybody else is bringing, but the one thing for sure is my dad always brings the cheesecake. He makes the best cheesecakes, and he always switches out like the theme of the cheesecake. Last year he did like this turtle cheesecake that was phenomenal. So we kind of all just send him our ideas and then he throws something together and it's delicious. And then of course we'll always have leftover like cookies and snacks and different things like that from all the other holiday meals. And just like that, that is my Christmas meal plan times 2 for a big traditional family dinner and then a little bit more of a fun, casual, Mexican themed Christmas dinner. Let me know down below what your favorite Christmas side dish is, or if you have a dish that you're like, no, you need to get this on your meal plan, leave it down below for me. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day, a very merry holiday season, and I will catch you guys in another video. Bye.